Pixability continues to be very focused on YouTube and connected TV, where there are a handful of companies that are certified by Google for brand suitability, and we're one of them. The difference with us is that we have a platform that's focused not just on brand suitability, but also ad performance. The advertisers we work with obviously want both. No one wants one and not the other. And so as you can imagine, we've gotten some great response from the industry from our platform. Last year, we had a record revenue year. This year, we're going to have another record revenue year. So it's a super exciting time to be in the YouTube and CTV space. Yeah, so GARM, the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, which as you know, Andy, is this independent organization that has created standards around safety and suitability. They came out with this great report in April that was not just about YouTube, it was about a lot of other social platforms, Twitter, Facebook, et cetera. And what it showed related to YouTube was that YouTube is now over 99% brand safe for advertisers, even without you having to do anything. So that was a good step in the right direction. What it didn't address was what that doesn't mean is that everything is suitable for every advertiser, because of course that's brand specific. And so what we like to, an example I like to give to people about the difference between safety and suitability on YouTube is this influencer named Amanda Ensing, who is a beauty influencer on YouTube, who has a huge following. She's always been in a very ideal place for advertisers, beauty advertisers on YouTube, up until January 6th of this year when the Capitol riots happened. And she started tweeting some very controversial opinions about the Capitol riots. She was very pro-riot. And what happened is we immediately removed her from our inventory, knowing that this wouldn't be brand suitable for a lot of our advertisers. But Sephora had partnered with a third party that wasn't monitoring suitability, and they did not remove her from their inventory. And so Sephora, January 29th, 3 weeks later after the Capitol riots, Sephora's sponsorship ran on YouTube. Left-leaning folks got very upset, tweeted, boycott Sephora. Sephora realized what had happened, pulled their sponsorship, and then right-leaning people tweeted, boycott Sephora. So basically the lesson here being that even though the Amanda Ensing channel may be safe, it may not be suitable for everyone, like Sephora in this case. So for advertisers, we tell them it's really a continuous thing that you have to monitor at all times, because suitability can change, with a tweet, basically.
Now, you guys have done a survey of media buyers. Tell us some takeaways from there and kind of where they're going and what their expectations are.
Yeah, so we obviously work with all the major agencies and lots of independent agencies, but we also did this major survey, as you said, earlier this year. It was 177 media agencies. We asked them all kinds of questions about connected TV, YouTube, brand suitability. What we saw that was interesting in terms of brand suitability is there are a chunk of agencies that look to third parties like us for brand suitability help. There's another chunk that are trying to do it themselves. And then there's a very small chunk of them that aren't doing anything related to brand suitability on YouTube at all. For those, we're saying you really should consider either figuring it out yourself or working with a third party, because although YouTube is safe, there are specific suitability issues that some of your advertisers may have with certain content. The other thing that was interesting is the people that are doing it themselves. Some of them are doing it really well, and some of them aren't doing what I had mentioned before, where they're not monitoring things consistently and they're not following through the entire campaign of monitoring for suitability. So they may run into issues like that Amanda Ensing example I gave.
So what about some positive trends you're seeing in brand suitability and sort of, how you guys work not to avoid the bad stuff, but to sort of maximize the better opportunities?
Yeah, exactly. I think two things that we've seen that are very positive. I mean, we definitely believe that suitability has always been a little bit about defense and avoiding content you don't want. And we believe it can be also thought of as an offensive measure and go on the offense and find content that performs well, et cetera. And so we're seeing a great trend towards agencies and brands embracing that and saying, yes, we don't want to, it's not as much about avoiding content as it is about finding content that helps us perform better and that we want to support. Related to that, we're seeing a lot of agencies come to us and say, listen, this brand wants to vote with their ad dollars, because ultimately when you're advertising on YouTube, your money is supporting specific creators. And so we want to support creators that are aligned with what our brand believes. So help us find those. And so what we've done at Pixability is we've created curated lists around different causes that people want to support, or types of creators that people want to support. We have LGBTQ creator lists, we have Black and Asian creator lists, et cetera. And so it's a really nice trend to see suitability not just as a preventative measure, like you said, but as a way to connect with creators that you want to support.
Cool. And tell us more broadly what's happening with CTV and you guys. And I know, historically it's been YouTube, and
Yeah,
of course there's a number of big platforms emerging. Tell us sort of the work that you're doing with other platforms, how that might be different or how it might be the same.
yeah, it's obviously a very exciting time for connected TV. We were 100% focused on YouTube, and as YouTube has become the CTV player in terms of reach, we've by default become a CTV player. YouTube now, according to Comscore, has over 40% of CTV watch time is YouTube. And so even if we only focused on YouTube, we'd be a CTV. We'd be in the CTV business. What we've also done, though, is over the last few years, we've created great partnerships with other CTV partners: Roku, Amazon Fire, Hulu, et cetera. Now, effectively, we can reach 99% of CTV viewing hours, which no one else can do, because no one else has this combination of YouTube and Hulu and Roku and Amazon. So that's super exciting. I think the other thing that we see, and this is back to the survey that we did, in terms of brand suitability, people don't see CTV as a brand suitability threat or safety threat. They think of CTV as, well, this content's probably all produced by a studio or a network, so why should I worry about it? But we're increasingly getting questions about it, because as the content becomes exponentially larger, there's going to be more choice, and there's going to be times when brands want to align with certain kinds of content. And as we know, CTV content sometimes may have nudity or violence and so forth, and it may also express certain opinions that a brand may not want to be aligned with. So we actually see, while suitability is not top of mind for agencies right now, in the survey they said this is not a concern for us right now. Their concern is reach and driving full funnel results on CTV, which is a challenge, but something that we're doing with Amazon and YouTube. While brand suitability on CTV is not a huge challenge now, we see it as it's going to be something that will be in the future. And again, it will be more about aligning yourself with the right content.